Hey y'all. Hey Erica Buford Trey. Hey True Black. Hey. Juice Reveal. Hey Miss Alfreda, how you doing, love? I've been thinking about you. I'm glad you popped on because I hadn't heard from you in a couple of videos. Glad to see you, love. Hey, Ra Holloway. Hey Robbie, how you doing? I am. I'm having a good day. Good afternoon so far. I can't complain. I'm so happy it's sweater weather. We're coming up on sweater weather anyway, and I'm like, yeah, it's my favorite season. Yay! I love the fall. Tremendous body. How you doing, girl? Crafts and House. How you doing? I'm glad, Miss Alfreda. On Y, how you doing? Colette. Hey, Ronnie Q, how you doing? Kim, how you doing? Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for hopping on, because y'all know I've been sporadic. Y'all know me, child. Hey, JV, how you doing, love? JV, congratulations on your new business. That's awesome. Hey, Jessica, you love the fall too, juice review. I know, right? It's my favorite time of the year. Mm-hmm. Beef sector camera slips. How you doing? Y'all, please hit the like button if you don't mind to get this old video into the algorithm for me. I would really appreciate it. I really would. But yeah, fall is my favorite time of the year. I love my sweaters, and I don't have to sweat wearing my sweater. You don't have to turn on the air. You don't have to turn on no heat. It's my favorite time of the year. I get to pull out that old crock pot, make them crock pot meals again. Child, you can't go wrong with that. I'm thinking about making some crock pot chili here in a little bit. I was like, ooh, child. Hey, Miss Honey, how you doing? You welcome, JB. I know that's right, JV. All credit goes to the creator. Amen on that. Mm-mm. Well, anyway, I ain't gonna hold y'all long, child. I just want to come on and notice something. But y'all know I'll be off on the weekend. It really wasn't that much going on. In my opinion. Hey Mia, how you doing? In my opinion, but I just want to, pop on and just I got questions, right? So here's my question. If you guys have been around, for a long time in the beef sector, we know that people have lost their job. They have right, Juice, right? I'm thinking about cooking me some crock pot chili, child. It's about that time. It's about that time. Hmm. So I keep getting sidetracked because I'm really thinking about doing that. Okay, that's a for real. So anyway, shoot, I just got hungry thinking about that, child. Look, so here's my question, y'all, real quick, right? So we know that in the beef sector, well, in all sectors, people get doxxed, and people have in this sector in particular, people have lost their jobs, their very livelihood, via being doxxed and people calling their jobs and all this and all that, right? We've seen it, time and time again in this sector in particular. If y'all can hear me good enough, please, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me really good because the phone is not in my hand. Y'all know I'll be lazy, right? I can't tell you last time I fired up that computer because I'm lazy. I rather do it on the phone. But anyway, so like I was saying, we know that people have lost their jobs and livelihood, and all kind of agencies have been called on people. And one of those people that this has happened to, um, in the past is Jay Wilson, right? So for a couple of days here, people have been talking. Jay Wilson came on, and he did a video, and in that video, um, thank you for letting me know. Thank y'all. So in that video, he was doing a video in his office, right? I know y'all done heard. I just want to give my little commentary on it because I know y'all, done heard people talk about it for a couple of days. So anyway, in that video, he he was doing a video in his office, his work office, right? And so thank you, youngest sibling. And when he was doing the video, evidently the camera went somewhere it didn't want it to go, and people were evidently, some people, one person in particular, took a snapshot of his office. I heard that they was selling the snapshot, like it was something to, see, and then come to find out it really wasn't anything to see at all. I saw the snapshot, just pretty much a plain office to me. It wasn't anything special. Nothing was revealed. And it was a intercom in the background. Fast forward to Jay Wilson delete the video. And then he comes on after that and shows a picture of his new vehicle. Congratulations, Jay Wilson. Y'all please hit the like button. Shows a picture of his vehicle, right? So here's the thing. Jay Wilson in particular has gotten doxxed to the point to where he has lost his job before, right? So for me, I don't understand. Y'all please hit the like button too, right? I appreciate it, y'all. Thank you so much. And I hate to keep saying that, but I really need to get the video in the algorithm because I don't even come on like I should. So anyway, so this has happened to him before, right? People have found out where he's worked before, and people have, pretty much caused him to lose job before, right? And so why my question, really my question, hey, information to you, Jay Wilson, is why in the world would you do that again? Because they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. Thank you, Miss Alfreda, and expecting a different outcome. You know what I mean? So Jay Wilson is a man of a particular age, just like I am a woman of a particular age. And if you are still working, right? If you are still in, you have been given grace and mercy enough to, at our age, find yourself another job, right? Why, number one, would you go live in your office? Why would you do that at your place of employment? Whether you're showing anything or not, you got intercoms in the background. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that when you know what can happen to you? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. Um, and two, um, I guess some people, I know they used to say back in the day, people used to be keeping up with the Joneses, right? When they say keeping up with the Joneses, they mean like, whether you can afford it or not, you're trying to keep up with what your neighbor's doing. Hey, Seven, how you doing? You try to keep up with what your neighbor's doing. So if your neighbor, get a new car, you got to get a new car. If your neighbor get a new, like, whatever, a new set of furniture, you got to get a new set of furniture. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand that. But my question mainly is, Jay Wilson, like, are you are you see, some people, and I'm not saying this is Jay Wilson, but some people, when things start going good in their lives, for whatever reason, they become self-defeating, you know. And I don't. I'm thinking, Jay Wilson, are you being self-defeating? Are you just being, braggadocious? And if you're being braggadocious and trying to play and are you playing the dozens with people on YouTube? And my question would be, why? You know what I mean? And but I just those are questions that I would like answered from Jay Wilson. Like, I really don't understand why you would put your livelihood on the line doing a freaking YouTube video at your place of employment. And so I guess I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, to each his own. But I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? Everyone does the most. You don't have to tell the world you have or getting a new house. That's right. And if you don't tell nobody, they won't know. Yes, they talk about it too much. He did that with Mark, all his business. Yeah, I don't understand that. I think it's attention. I think it's attention. Everyone just want to um get the congrats. Meanwhile, self validation should, absolutely, self validation should be enough. I agree with that. And like somebody like me, and I'm sure it's a whole lot of people on here. You don't have to tell anybody about anything. You can let people assume what they want to assume. You know what I mean? And some people are just not braggadocious type people. You know what I mean? And then especially if you're in the beef sector and you've had this thing happen to you before. Like I don't understand that. I don't understand the mentality behind that. Like, what are you trying to prove at your age? You don't went to school, you done got your new job, and you still feel like you got something to prove. Either you feel like Jay Wilson ain't got no man because he kept going live from his home. Child. Sometimes we act like we never had nice things. But that's a point too, Miss Alfreda. I absolutely agree. I don't understand why people feel the need. From what type of validation do you need really from anybody in the world? Because you're really only um, you know, in competition with yourself. What do you have to prove to anybody in this world? Me, I let people think what they want to think. You are really bringing a different perspective. Oh, thank you, Cosmic Girl. Yeah, you don't owe anybody anything, especially on the internet. Sometimes we get on the internet and you hear a lot of outlandish stuff. And I really think that because of the internet, to me, have y'all noticed how people's humanity is starting to fall apart, on this internet, if you think about it, you know what I mean? And nobody, I heard the other day, right, where this woman was assaulted on a I guess on the subway or something like that, and nobody called the police. They just sit around and watch her be assaulted while they was taping it. I was like, oh my God, it's an erosion of humanity. That's what's going on, right? And so I just, but those are a couple of questions that I had. I really would like Jay Wilson to address that. I think it's like with anyone, you can be proud of your accomplishment and want to post about it. But Trey, in this sector with Jay Wilson's history, when it comes to his employment and things of that nature, why would you want to? That's self defeating to me. You know, it's self defeating to me. That's not a good answer. You want to post your accomplishments. That don't work for me. Like I said, via the history. You know. And so anyway, oh my God, you heard about that? Yes. Nobody helped her. Uh, yeah, they just stood around Cosmic Girl and they videotaped it. Now, if that is not a clear indication of that our moral compass is eroding or our humanity is eroding, like I don't know what else is. I don't know what else is. I thought that was so sad to hear something about that, to hear something like that. But they took out their phones though, which means they was making a tape, making a video, so that they could put it on social media. So your first thing to think about is let me get this video so I can put it on social media. I don't want to call the police because it might cut off the drama. Is that what we're doing now? I was like, wow. Could it be that he's like you? Did all He's like you, did all these, and I still came out with a new job and a new car. I don't know, just doing things. I don't tell. He's not nothing like me because I would never show my person. What do you mean, just like me? What he got going on don't have nothing to do with me. Did you see something that I didn't see? I was mortified. I don't. Trey, could you explain that? Because I don't come on here bragging about a darn thing. Nobody don't know. People will make up stuff about you when they don't know nothing about you. Do you see what I'm saying, Miss? Oh, we have seen quite a few people show their new purchases though. I didn't know he showed his job. Well, he went live, and whether he want to come on here and show up, his car or not, that's whatever. I mean, it's a vehicle, it's a material thing. But if the way that you can pay your car payment or buy your new car, is at your job, is at your new job, and since how you done been doxxed before, and as a result of being doxxed, you done lost your job. I don't. The question was, why would you do a video in your office? And then delete the video immediately because you felt like you showed too much. But if you've been through this before, like I said, the question is, why would you do it again? We're all adults here. We're not children. He said, no, not like you, Olivia. I'm saying Jay Wilson could be like y'all, okay? His haters or whatever. did all this, and he still came out with a new job. I still don't know what that means, but I mean, if you was blessed with a second or third or whatever chance, like I said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different outcome. So I don't understand, but okay. Child, I never witnessed so much jealousy, animosity, and pure MF evil until this app. Well, I agree with that, Joy Queen. That's why I don't come out telling my personal business. People think a whole lot of things about me, and guess what? That ain't none of my business. They still can't make. People will lie on you because they don't know nothing about you. They can make some stuff up. You know. Yeah, there's no need to prove anything to anybody. Not in my opinion. You can't be You can't be as esteemed as he claims to be working for Uber. It doesn't make sense. When he say he working for Uber, he's being sarcastic. That's what he's being. That's it. That's all. You know. You know. Some folks go out their way to prove that I'm better than the group. Right. But for what though? I'm rich. You're not. Right, Miss Alfredo. But for what though? I've never understood that about people. Jay Wilson needs validations through YouTube because he gets none in his real life. And that's unfortunate because he should realize that he can validate himself. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say, people come out here and say things about me all the time. I don't give a damn. You still not gonna know my business. They say that I live. They say that I live with my freaking niece. For goodness sake, me and my household, me and the Mister, we live with my niece. Okay. All right. You still not gonna know my business. Jealous of what? A new car in a pandemic and a Volvo. Stop saying that it's weak or just that it's do what now? Stop saying that it's weak or just fall. I don't understand. Please hit the like. Are you saying that he wants people to be jealous of him? Y'all please hit the like button if you don't mind. Is that what you're saying? Please hit the like. Because Jay Wilson cares what people say about him. Well, that's unfortunate. You can live your whole life worrying about what somebody else got to say about you, and it can actually hold you back in this world. Do you see what I'm saying? Worrying about what the next person say about you. What the next person say about you, it ain't none of your business. Okay? Like for real. Especially in the B sector. You know what I mean? They will lie on you. They will spin their own narrative. That's social media in general. Especially when they don't have anything really bad or whatever you want to call it. It's real negative around here. That's what I meant about the eroding of humanity. About humanism, if you will. And we ain't even gonna go down that road about humanism. That's the reason why I brought that up about that girl being assaulted on that train, because that was truly horrible. Yes, you want people to be jealous of a basic achievement. It's a car, Olivia. A car. Well, that's it. That's all. I'm sure I mean, at our age, you've been through a couple of them. I know I have. I know I done tore up a couple of them. I done tore up a couple of them. I tell you that. That bragging works in the B sector. Why? Who knows? I don't even know. I'm not impressed. I am more worried about, you know, seeing that my family is okay, seeing that I'm okay. I could give a F less about coming on here and showing off whatever. I don't care. Because I don't care what you think. Pretty much. Think whatever you want to think. I don't give a damn. I don't know. To me it's just a car. Like when got a car, people have cars, it's nothing not and then another thing could be too, I notice sometimes that, and we all have seen people that um were raised up with nothing, right? Raised up in a real bad poverty situation. You know what I mean? And so um when they come up out they cloud and they pull and they bring themselves up out of that situation, even though they're not in that situation anymore, they still feel a way about having being in that poverty stricken situation, even if you're a child and you don't have no control of it. Because if you're a child, You don't have no control over how you're living. That's up to your parents, right? But you feel for whatever reason less than, even if you are no longer in that situation, you know. And maybe that's part of the reason why, your the child in you, says, I made it now. I don't live like that anymore. You know, maybe that's what's going on a little bit, you know. And so, yes, absolutely a lot going on in the world. I agree with that. A lot going on in the world, and I realize people need some escapism every once in a while. But Lord have mercy, I think it's very telling that he came on to talk about the hard times that someone else is going through. So you get on at work just for that. I don't even know they carry fear of not wanting to go. But yeah, that's true. I agree with that. But if you have that fear of not wanting to go back, why do you self sabotage? Why do you self sabotage? Because I'm talking about that under the guise of you have done lost, you have done lost your job before via this very same app in this very same sector. So why do you keep going back and doing the same thing over and over again? That don't make no sense to me. I think what we see from some on here is just a glimpse of how ugly they feel about themselves in real life. That's unfortunate, but I agree with that. They can smile and laugh all they want, but something is absolutely the joy queen. Absolutely. I never announced my new job, car, move on the internet for what? I agree. You know what I mean? I don't like people out of my business either. I agree with that. Uh huh. I really do. It's nobody business. I don't feel the need to brag about anything. So what? I don't want nobody. Hate. People love to use that word. You hating on me, or you jealous of me. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't have anything for nobody to be hate on me for or be jealous of me. What does that say about me if I go out of my way making you jealous of me? That says more about me. That don't make no sense to me. It does not compute. Okay. And so yeah, it's just ridiculous. Miss Honey said it sounds like the car announcement was content to cover up for inadvertently revealing his workplace when doing too much. I would agree with that, Miss Honey. I would agree with that, but my thing is, it wouldn't be nothing to cover up if you didn't do that dumbass shit in the first place. Cause that don't make. If you value your job, why be self-defeating? Why do that? I don't understand that. Y'all please hit the like button if you don't mind. Thank you. SF says, yeah, I don't know what kind of job lets you live stream, and even if you do have your own. Well, I mean, I'm sure that now. See, I'm sure that everybody's job now has some kind of what do you call it? Some kind of morality clause, but not a morality clause. It's what do you call it? Social media clause. That's not the right term. It's social media clause. Some kind of oh shoot, I can't think of the name of it. But a lot of people when you go in, and they have some kind. It's not a morality clause. It's some kind of clause talking about social media. A lot of workplaces have that now, so you have to be careful of stuff like that. So I don't understand it. You know, so I don't know. And what if he? I mean, and ain't nothing wrong with having a couple of hustles, Alicia. So if he is doing that, on the side hustle, it's green money. It's not illegal. What's wrong with that? You know, what's wrong with that? Ronnie Q said, "What I have is not who I am." Absolutely, who I am anyway. The substance of my being is who I am. Absolutely, the rest are perks. Absolutely. Let me go back up and finish it. The rest are perks that can be given and taken away. Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with that. I sure do. Internet responsibility. So, yeah, it's something like that, Trey. I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. Confidentiality clause, social media clause, etc. internet responsibility. Thank you, L7. It's Ladonna B. It's still a little weird at times, but sometimes you gotta pay. You gotta pay yourself. You gotta pat yourself on the back. Absolutely. And there's no more validation that you need. Being the best that you can be. You know what I mean? That should be validation enough. And so I don't understand. But to each his own. I would never. I just question that mentality because I question a lot of things. Online or offline. But that's just something I really. Why do you feel the need to do that? To jeopardize what it is that you got going on now at your age, to be given a chance at your age, to have another whole career. Why in the world would you jeopardize something like that? That don't make no sense to me. Some people have to realize you will never win against. Absolutely not. I agree with that, Troy. I agree. I agree. And how many of you guys think that we're years into the social media thing now, right? So do you think perhaps that so a part of social media, a part of the bad when it comes to social media is the eroding of our empathy or compassion or morality. Do you see what I'm saying? Do they want you to think like a computer? Because a computer has no emotion. It has no feeling. It's either black or white. It don't have no gray areas. You know that's what it is because we know that a computer can't have doesn't have any emotions or anything like that. Take that girl for example that was assaulted on the train. Okay, you're not even calling 911 if you don't want to jump in for fear that you might be hurt or something, whatever. I can understand that. Nobody wants to Hey, Miss Toby, how you doing? Nobody, no, a lot of people are refusing to. It's nothing wrong with not wanting to be a martyr, right? But at least you can call 911. That's the least you can do. If you scared to jump in, call 911. I didn't hear that anybody called 911 or anything. What I heard was people taking out their cameras and taking a video of it so they can post it to social media. you know. And so I don't I just thought I just really think that because of social media we have allowed because it's a choice. You can allow a thing to erode your humanity or you can choose not to do that. You do have a choice, you know. And so yeah, desensitize and cloud right, but you have a choice. We see, like for instance, um it was discussing. Yeah, I didn't even go search out the video. You know what I mean? I just heard people talking about it. I think social media gives a very rose colored view of people's lives. Absolutely. People interject their own thoughts into your world. They really don't know nothing about you. I used to be like, oh wow, I'm behind. I'm beyond behind. I guess behind comparing myself. Then I had to tell myself, girl, you don't know this. You don't know these people. That assault on the train was one of the what. Oh, I read that. I want to read this. Paul Graves says, "You teach the Bible, then you must also obey it." This is for you, Jay Wilson. Um, 1 John 16:17, which states, "quote The showy display of one's means of life does not originate does not originate with God, but originates with the world." Mm, mm, mm. That's deep right there, Paul. That's deep. But I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't understand. I don't understand that mindset. And employees finally saw it and called 911. Really, and the cops. Let me go back up. And the cops caught the man still in the act and arrested him. Thank God I didn't know that, Ronnie Q. I didn't hear that part. I'm glad an employee at least called 911. I'm glad they got that disgusting person a deplorable person that would do something like that to somebody. Not even worried about other people being around. Oh my God. Chill. Chill. Looks fine, says like money, social media slash the internet allows you to be who you want to be. I'm sorry, we leave to hear. Veronica, yeah, I'm relieved to hear that too, because I didn't hear that part. I'm not gonna lie. At D. Correct, disgusting. That woman is someone's door. Right. And you know that video got to be floating around somewhere. It's probably ain't no telling, you know. The South and Philly, yeah, that's what we talking about, Empress. It's Olivia, I believe, genuinely believe that very few people on social media respect the human experience, right? How do yeah, I absolutely agree with that. How people cry, how things affects others, on what a person could be going through, just zero compassion, right? And I think there's the eroding of somebody's humanity, and I think that's on purpose. People are too worried about people, places, and possessives. That's our downfall. Social media brought you have to show those three to feel validation. You know what? That's something that says something about your self-esteem, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to validate yourself, via social media, via somebody giving you a thumbs up on something that you have materialistically. That's beyond me. You know what I mean? But okay. I think it's normal to share a little good news, but habitual horn tooting speaks to one. Why would you even want to share good news or bad news, particular in the beef sector? Good news or bad news? Why? Knowing via the history. That's what I mean, Miss Honey. Via the history. You don't have nobody offline that you can share your good news with, you know, because ain't nobody's for you on this internet, really. I was listening to a sermon from TD Jakes years ago. I think it was like 2012, and I never forget one of the things that he said. And what he said was, if you walk into a room and you share your good news to people, right? You're real happy because achieve something has happened to you. Y'all please hit the like button. But if you walk into that room in the midst of you sharing your good news with people, if you turn around and look and take a look in people's faces, and you can tell that they are really either envious or frowning up, or you know how people be, have a haughty attitude, or whatever attitude, just hurry up and walk out that door, because those people are not for you. And that reminds me of the internet. If you know that people are not really for you, if people really don't want the best for you, then why in the world would you walk into this social media room and share anything with them at all? That don't make sense to me. You know. And like I said, if you've done lost something before, like a job, like your livelihood, you've lost that before. Why in the world would you do the same thing over and over again? Is it just to give people something to talk about? Why would you take a chance like that doing any type of video at your new place of employment? Like, what do you have to prove? It's self-defeating. And that's an issue to me. And that's the question that I have. My mama's been telling me everyone ain't happy for you. They can wish you ill over your absolutely. Absolutely. Watch who you tell your stuff to. Absolutely. It's out free to say attention. That's true, Miss Out there. And then, braggadocious. The ego. It also said in the Bible, Paul, that pride comes before the fall. You know, and I like that song. And it's true, pride does come before the fall if you pay attention. But I like that song. Who made that song? Little fella made the song a couple of years ago. What was his name? I think Kendrick Lamar, I think it's his name or something like that. It says, "Sit down and be humble. Sit down, be humble." I mean, like, yep, that's that. Yeah, absolutely. You should sit down and be humble. You know what I mean? Dealing here with boy swacking shady HBCUs because of what's going on at Howard University. I had to go in on him and that wife of his. No, I didn't hear about that. But what's going on at Howard University? I didn't hear about that either. Everything is for social media. I know that's right. Miss O, I have no pics of my significant other, me either, on social media or anything in reference to my job. Some folks, I don't trust nobody. And I absolutely agree with you, Miss Toby. Before I forget, Olivia, have you read the article about black kids in Tennessee being imprisoned for crimes? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That woman in that town. Yeah, I heard about that. Uh huh. I've had conversations offline about that, incarcerating them babies for no reason at all. But something's going to be done about that. So yeah, just keep listening out for it. Same with the trauma in your life. Breen Brown says sharing your pain with toxic people slash family members can prove to be another piece of debris in an already dangerous storm. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely. Like you. I've had friends who graduated from Howard and they complained the living conditions. Howard University is a mess. What deplorable condition that those students are living in? Wow. One girl had mold growing all over her clothes, bedding, even her fan. My God. Really? Students are protesting at Howard because of poor living conditions. Boyce decided to shade all HBCU because of this. Yeah. Well, number one, the number one problem, like really, if you tell the truth, that a lot of HB and there are only a few left. The number one thing that they run into when it comes to these HBCUs, unfortunately, you have a lot of people embezzling money. Do you see what I'm saying? And when you're embezzling money, you're not taking care of what you're um supposed to be taking care of. You're pocketing the money. Okay, and that is why um wait, what? Oh my God, really, cream brownies? That's crazy. And they're pocketing the money, and so eventually they'll be in so much debt that the school has to close down. And it's a shame when it comes to HBCUs and how they are ran. You got a historically black college and university being run by black people that are running the school in the ground. That's why we don't have as many as we used to have. Your own people is stealing from your own people, pocketing the money. If that ain't selfish, I don't know what is. But that's one. So if that's happening at Howard, and I didn't hear about this, I'm not surprised. Because we've seen it over and over again. Absolutely, that's a shame. That's a shame. I didn't know that was going on at Howard. Not Howard. My God, child. Hey everyone. I like when folks think I have nothing. Me too. Can't nobody ask the boy anything. You got that right, Kingsman. Unbiased opinion said. There are 107 HBCUs, and issue is HBCUs don't get the funding that way. No, they don't get the funding. That the other, the non-black colleges get. But my thing is, you have a lot of people embezzling, right? And you have a lot of alum that are willing to, donate, and keep the school up. But when you're embezzling that money and people learn about it, they'll stop giving after a while. If you know your school is not going to get that much funding, because we know we not, why would you then turn around and still, embezzle some of that money, or you mismanage funds? You got a whole staff that don't know what they're doing. See, there's a whole lot of things besides the HBCUs not being properly funded. There's things that the staff can do, you know. So you can't just pass the blame off on, limited funding or not proper funding when you're not doing the right thing with the few funds that you have in the first place. It don't make no sense. Even without funding the alum pay. Yeah. So it's a disrespect to their that's right, to the alma mama. That's right, Jessica. And everybody know, especially if you are black, you know how to make a way out of no way. You're making a way out of no way, But if you ain't doing the right thing, it's just gonna all fall down. You know, you know. No, I'm not. I'm not saying all black colleges are doing that, but we've seen several HBUs close, because people are stealing the monies. They're not doing the right things. We've seen several of them do that. You sometimes you have to take accountability. By the time the alumni find out about it, it's already too late. It ain't no coming back from it. You know, it ain't no coming back from it, and it don't make no sense. I think something was going on at Morris Brown. Kamala Harris should do something. And Olivia, hey Cheryl says, this is off topic, but have you paid attention to the conversation Sinji started about not giving birth to any more black boys? Oh, is that what she talking now? Well, she's not original, because they had that girl named that woman named Brooklyn Blue. She called herself something like that, because they're over there in the divestment community. Um, and they talk about, if you're gonna have that Brooklyn Blue used to say, if you are pregnant and you finding and if you find that you are having a black son, you should abort it. That started a long time ago. So is she regurgitating that now? Because that's not original. I don't even know why Cynthia G just don't come out and say she's a freaking divester. Okay, because that's what she want to be. But she been that way, for forever. She want her white husband like her sister had her white husband. Do you see what I'm saying? So she just need a. That's why she was she was shocked when Crystal Carson turned on her. So if she's saying that, it ain't nothing new. She not original at all. And I am not impressed. Forget her. Might think about that fool. That is old. And yes, she is on that bandwagon. Absolutely, Mika. That ain't even nothing new. Brooklyn Blue said it years before her. She started that years ago. Child. Also HBUs have a lower alum contribution. Yeah, but not all of them though. Maybe they have a smaller, a lower alum contribution because they feel that the people are just pocketing the money anyway. You know. And so yeah. And so it is what it is. You know. And a lot of the times, HBCUs do get a bad rap because there are a lot of HBUs that really struggle and strive to do right, by their students and stuff. But the ones that are not doing right, those are the ones that get the light shined on them. And it's unfortunate. But like I said, you do have to take some personal accountability, for what's going on. And so yeah, just average compared to others. That's true. Who wants to give to corruption? Right. All HBCUs is not the same. No, they are not all the same. I'm not saying, I never said that they were all the same. I said that the ones that are not doing what they are supposed to be doing, they have to take accountability. But hey Natasha Malam, um there are those that are corrupt, and they are corrupt via their own staff, via their own people. Why would you not want to do right by your own people if you are in a position to make or break this college? And I have seen HBCU after HBCU fall by the wayside, which is what they want to happen, fall by the wayside, because people are not doing the right thing. You can't blame it all on funding or nothing else. If you're at the head, what are you do? What are you not doing? I'm part of my HBCU alum, and I always push to give to the students personally. Right, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, some more state funded. You're right about that too. My thing is whether, you're state funded or government funded, or that there are not going to be enough funds, equally divided when it comes to a HBCU. But if you're trying to do the best you can do to keep your college going, your alumni will come in and they will supplement, that funding that you're lacking. You just got to do the right thing. But nobody's going to be wanting to give to somebody that's embezzling the money. And that's a problem that's been going on forever when it comes to HBCUs. It ain't nothing new. It's done happened before. You're like literally imploding your school from the inside. And it ain't right, you know. And it ain't right. It's not right to me if you're not trying to do right. Now sometimes you can do everything you can do. You can do everything the right way, and it still won't be enough. And that's important. And that's sad. It's unfortunate. But those are not the schools that I'm talking about. I'm talking about those schools that are embezzling funds, not properly running the facilities or anything like that on purpose, just because you don't give a damn, just because you don't care. Those are the schools that I'm talking about. It was a whole narrative that they were giving about HBCUs getting robbed at school, until they were told that people that go to NYU, I mean there are all types of and it's not just HBCUs, any type of school. There's why do you think they have campus security? Not just the rape, just robbery, sure, everything else. That's every college and every university. There's always an element of crime, at these colleges and universities, not just HBCUs. Boys Watkins must be living under a rock, and it's really, really, really a problem with when it comes to date rape, more so than robbery or anything. It's when people get drunk. These girls or these guys, they get drunk, and people do anything they can with them. They wake up with the next morning, and their whole life is ruined. They scared to go to campus police or the police in general. It's a lot going on with these kids. You really be taking a chance when you sending your kids to school. Even if they're there to do the right thing, you still taking a chance. When you sending your babies to these schools, look at what happened to Jelani Day. Look at what happened to Jelani Day. It's crazy. At my college, someone got stabbed and put in jail. It was a whole thing. Some people will be surprised if you've never been to a college or university, and if you live the campus life, some people will be surprised at the things going on at those colleges and universities. Do you see what I'm saying? And so it's just crazy. It's just, especially some of these kids ain't never been away from home before. A lot of these kids live sheltered lives, and it's just really crazy. You want me to drop the link, Ronnie Q? Okay. And it's just really crazy. You really even if in contact with your kids, every day, it's the, they're not gonna tell you everything. The whole life can be ruined just trying to go to school. You don't even have to be a party animal for an incident to happen to you at school. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Campus crime is ridiculous. So yeah. Hey, Lady Tia said this story about the chair, that chair who was prostituting that young girl Howard at Howard Howard black woman, I believe was the school, her and three other men. I don't know nothing about that, Lady Tia. Look at all the wire that go miss. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's been serial killers up at these schools, these non HBCU schools and everything. you know. And of course, Boys Walkers. Who is Boys Walkers? I don't even see why people still listen to that fool. There ain't nothing but a con man. That's all he is. I don't know why people see why people are paying attention to him. Let me drop this link. It's Ronnie Q said she wanted to come up. But yeah, y'all, it's just crazy. We done got away from the subject, but the question that I had was, what in the world is Jay Wilson doing? That's all I want to know. Maybe he'll make a video about it and tell me what his mindset is behind that craziness that he got going on in his head and why he got it in his head. So I don't know. But as far as these schools go, these colleges and universities. It don't have to be a HBCU for something bad to happen up on the campus. Bad things happens all the times on these campus, and a lot of times, they're able to cover a lot of these things up. So that's why, it's a lot of stuff that don't get reported even at a HBCU that the general public will never know about. Because they try to cover it up as best they can, like they really do. You know, Paul said Cynthia G has did a complete 360. She went from talking about how evil white supremacy is to now speaking against black on black relationships and aborting a black male child. You know why Cynthia G? Let me tell you why Cynthia G stopped speaking on white supremacy, because they were snatching her channels down. That's why she stopped speaking on it. And then after she stopped speaking on, she turned around and started speaking ill about black men. You know what I mean? She had to change her content up. That's the only reason why she did that. That's why she stopped speaking on white supremacy, racism, because they were snatching her channels and taking away from her. It wasn't.
It's
It
me.
wasn't noble that she did. She did that because she wanted to keep her channel up. So now she speaks derogatory about black men. Hey,
It's
Jessica,
Hey, how you doing? I was hoping my connection would act okay. Can you hear me good?
I can hear you. I can. Hold on for
Oh,
1 minute,
good.
Jessica. Start
Okay.
speaking. Ronnie Q, is that you? Ronnie Q, is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Hey, go ahead, Jessica.
Yeah, so speaking of the HBCU, so I grew up in Atlanta, and we all know that the four that was all like on the same campus was Clark Atlanta University, Spelman, and Morris Brown and Morehouse, which were prestigious black colleges.
Absolutely.
And I remember some funding going completely wrong. My mama told me because she worked at Clark. She told me, and that's why I think my daddy used to go to either Morehouse or Morris Brown. One of them closed down, and that's when I started to begin to see like the downfall back then. This was like 20, 30 years ago of some of our HBCUs. The only thing I regret though is actually not staying on campus. But I'm gonna tell you what scared me. It's kind of funny. I saw the movie Higher Learning. And when I
Mm-hmm.
saw that movie, I told my mom, I was like, no, baby, I am not going to stay on campus. But these days, never will I ever want my child. I can't helicopter over her forever, but I just would not want her to stay on campus because college life, kids these days are a whole nother level. Wrong
Yes.
place, wrong time. And you
Yes.
just don't want to live with that regret,
You
you
don't.
know?
You don't. Yeah, I agree. Things are not like they used to be. They are even worse these days. And
Right.
you know, your kids really, it's their choice at the end of the day. But you want to persuade them, to just like please, so you can stay at home. If you don't want to stay here, I get them an off-campus apartment, but just be, where I can see you. You know what I mean? You want to keep
Exactly.
there's just so much going on at these colleges. Like I said, they're talking about Howard University and the HBCUs. That ain't nothing compared to what go on some of these non-black campuses and stuff. And they want to keep the stuff hid, because
Yep.
they make millions of dollars in revenue off like the athletics and all the just and all that other stuff, right? So they want to make people think they got a pristine university, right?
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
it's all hell breaking loose in the background.
It is, and corruption is everywhere. Corruption, we know that. I mean, corruption is also in the Caucasian universities and things like that. But they are just more slicker. You don't find out
Yeah,
about them until 30 years down the
they
line.
hide it.
Uh
Absolutely.
huh.
That's what I was
They
saying.
hide
They
it.
hide it.
Hmm. We
They
too
do.
power
That's what they
hungry.
cover it up, Jessica. You're right.
Yep.
They absolutely cover it up.
Yep. Yep. And we too power hungry. We get a little bit of control sometimes and we just destroy it. But I always have had respect for alumni because no matter what state you are, especially the alumni, the HBCUs, and I see these Caucasian, they grow up every year on their tuition. I'm talking about through the roof.
Yep.
We stay the same, but we don't put that money that the alumni is giving us. We don't put it back into the school to, help with the band uniforms or the football team. It's a joke down here in Louisiana, the Southern University, the HBCU down here, somebody put a picture of a cat as a Jaguar, and then they compared it to LSU and put the actual tiger, and they put us in a little bitty cage, and they had the tiger saying he got a whole apartment, which is true, and it's a very horrible joke. But if you think about that, we don't invest into our universities. The alumni invest, but you're not seeing nothing off their investment. It's
Right.
But remember,
disgraceful.
but Jessica, remember when Southern University did have that Jaguar? It was in a little
Yep,
tiny cage on
that's
the
correct.
campus. It
That is
was in a
correct.
little tiny cage.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. And see, when that president was embezzling money and hiding it in his freezer down here, um, the
Mm,
band were not able to have uniforms. So when Southern University would go somewhere else to play football, they couldn't even bus all the vans. Some people in Baton Rouge banded together to get them a
mm-hmm,
bus to take. The people
mm-hmm.
was wearing t-shirts on a doggone field. It was disgusting, shameful.
Yeah.
Shameful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
but anyway, that's all I really want to say is that I beckon those same sentiments. We in a whole nother different world. It's not
Mhm.
all HBCUs, and yes,
Mhm.
it can be a healthy experience for kids to go out and kind of have that independence. But everybody knows their child, and every parent knows the world that we living in. So you have to do what's best for
Uh,
your child.
Especially if
but
your
wait a
child
minute.
is a
But wait a
problem.
minute. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. One of the greatest music producers of our time that came up in South Central that made his money off of black people, endowed USC that has so few black people admitted. Dr. Dre gave money to, of all colleges,
Hmm.
USC, not a HSBCU college. He gave money to
To
USC,
USC.
but he got money from black people. He became a billionaire from black people putting him on the
You
map.
mind the
See,
white
see,
woman,
we got to make the
he hate
connection.
himself.
Yep.
He hate himself. Do you see what I'm saying? I would never down our HBCUs that are trying their best to stay above ground, that are doing the right thing, by their students, doing the best they can, and everything. But I
But
know for personal experience that the HBCU that I attended for 2 years because of embezzlement is now closed down here in the
See,
state of Tennessee.
that's a
And even
shame.
now,
but see,
we try. It lost accreditation and everything, and even now,
Wow.
we try to help out the school. We had it deemed a historical site, because the city of the HBCU that I attended has wanted that land for decades, wanted the land and everything in between it for decades. But because a transaction was made between this HBCU and the city, and by being deemed a historical site, they can't just mull it to the ground and they can't get their hands on the property. But even to this day, they doing they just just
But
trying to
that's
give
what
away
happens though, Miss
everything.
Olivia. We let these Caucasians come in and buy up stuff in our communities, and then they turn it into something else. Down there in Atlanta West End with Joseph E. Lowry March with Martin Luther King, them white folks had bought up so much stuff down there that even Martin Luther King's childhood home
Yeah.
is a historical site. The historical
Yeah.
site downtown Atlanta was the King's children. Remember they was fighting, and one of the children wanted to keep it there, but they weren't paying what the cost they needed to pay, and the other ones wanted to sell it to the white folks. And I'm like, y'all let these people lure you to come into your communities, buy up your houses, buy up your schools, tear it down, and build brand new apartments and buildings because
Yeah.
you don't want to take care of it. Now
But you
that
know what?
pisses me
That's
off.
what I mean about accountability. Exactly, Jessica. That's what I mean about accountability. And no, Tamara, I'm not talking about Morris Brown, but that's what I mean about accountability. Do you see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can't put if you are the head chair, or if you are what do you call it? If you are over this school, you should
Hmm.
have some sense of pride, especially if you got your education and attended this school. Why would you then go back and destroy it? Why would you steal funds? Why would you let your students live in dilapidated housing? Why would you
Mm.
try to
but
steal as much as you can out to the non-black people for profit, and you're pocketing most of their property. You are
but
dismantling legacy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I,
That's what
Yeah.
you're doing.
but
You're
but
I'm
dismantling.
I'm
but
going
but
back in the chat, y'all. I'm gonna be listening because I'm gonna get ready to go back to work. But thank you for letting me up, Miss Olivia.
Thank you for coming up, Jessica. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
hey, Jessica, nice seeing you,
Hey,
Jessica.
boo.
But Miss Olivia, I don't even know. I just heard of this story. I just found out about this story 2 days ago about Howard University.
I didn't
So
even
I
know
don't
this.
even know who this president is, where this president come from, if this president even is an alumni of Howard. But what I did hear is that they took the students off of the board. They used to have students on the board that were able to make decisions of in what went on at Howard, and they took the student off of the board. So there's no longer students on the board who is able to make decisions. So that's one point of contention that
Mm,
is a problem. And
yeah.
that's another reason why they were protesting as well. Now, okay, so now so my point of contention is I don't know enough about it, but so when I tuned in on Bryce Watkins' show, I thought he was going to delve into it in an informative way to give
Mm,
more information because it's a fresh story. But
mm,
that's not what happened.
right.
He delved into it in a very one-sided, downing all HSBCUs based on what's going on in Howard, and
Marcus
he had a very
into a HBC. He didn't even attend HBCU, and he need to be bitter at that school that fired him because of what he said about that what I can't think of his name. He used to be on Fox. What he said about his book. That's why he got fired. He need to be angry with the non HBCUs in the first place. He need to be angry with himself for over speaking, for thinking that he was something that he's not, and he ain't nothing but a coon anyway. And I don't see why black people still even deal with him because he ain't nothing but a scammer and a charlatan. He did a whole scam a while back, if you can remember, with this Chinese man. You know, and
I,
it's ridiculous.
Miss Olivia, I have never been a follower of him. I've heard about
Mhm.
him a couple
Right,
of times.
right.
Kwame Brown, I remember Kwame Brown brought up something about him with the scammer. I listened to Kwame Brown a couple of times, and I heard about something about him and the Chinese guy. I went
Mhm.
and watched the video that Kwame Brown referenced about the Chinese guy, and I saw the Chinese guy, and I heard the references that uh that Dr. Watkins was repeating back that
Mhm.
came out of the Chinese guy's mouth. So I
Yeah,
got that connection. They was
yeah,
repeating the same phrases. So
right.
I get that connection. So
Mhm.
I was listening to him just because I hadn't heard any more facts. I was like, I didn't even know it was his channel. It's
Mhm.
Your New World. And
Mhm.
I was like, okay, well, let me see what they're talking about this Howard thing. And then him and his wife come on. And they're in the bed and he's coughing and all this type of stuff. And I'm just like, oh, it's this guy. And then, but they have a slant on it. They're talking about this his personal thing, like, oh, I had a speaking engagement with Howard, and they didn't know that I could pull this many people, and then they just taped a note on the door and said this event is canceled because they didn't have enough seating, and they just taped the note on the door. So I have a problem with Howard University, and so like you got to axe to grind. So you got a personal axe to grind with Howard because they canceled an event that you have. And then his wife goes, I've never in my whole entire life had any issues with anybody until I ran into the faculty at Howard University as an adult. And, they just treated me badly. And she had no example, no references, but, they were really, really shady with me. And you know how you have that feeling and you can tell that people are treating you badly? And, I just never in my whole entire life been treated so horribly by people. No example, no frame of reference,
Right.
nothing. But she was treated badly by the faculty at Howard University. And
Mhm.
I'm like, are you kidding me? These people are up here with a personal axe to grind against Howard University. I would never send my child there. We're not sending our child there. I would never send my child there. I didn't know Boris Wycombe had a child with this lady. They only been married for 15 minutes.
Why you trying to have a child? Y'all
I
please
was like, they only been married for 15 minutes. Where's this child? Okay, but anyway, I digress. So, but then they start.
You know how he wronged, and he also got a problem with black women. You know, so many women over there like Michi X, and even before Michi X, they have had a problem with him trying to work with him, and even that little girl, what's her name? He owed her money. What's her name? Paris Milan or something like that. That's on YouTube. Is that her name? Paris Milan. She had a
I
gripe.
heard of Paris Milan.
Yeah, she done had a gripe with him because he owed her money when she was trying to work with him. Michi X, of course, you know he owed her money. Just a couple of other ones too. Like he got such a bad track record. You know what I mean? And people still
But
support him, and they know he a
but did
scammer.
you
He ain't
but
no
did you see
different.
that picture?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you see that wedding picture that they had with Willie D when him, Willie D, and his wife, and she is all leaned in on Willie D, and from the Ghetto Boys, she's all leaned in on Willie D, and like he's the groom, and Royce Watkins over there looking like a short, fat groomsman or something, because her body language is all keyed in, and she's all smiling and looking up all goo goo gaga over Willie D. And Royce Watkins is looking all dejected, and he the groom, and she all wet lipped and looking up at Willie D like she want to lick his side of his face.
Mm. No, I did. I didn't even see it. I really tried to avoid listening. Yeah. Now you know
Child.
if I can't stand somebody or whatever, I just try to, fall back and not even listen or look at anything that they have going on. And Boyce Watkins is one of them. You know what I mean?
Qu-
He's disgusting.
Kwame
Mhm.
Kwame Brown happened to post that picture. That's how it all came together in that one post. And I was like, oh, what a mess. I would hate to look back at my wedding if my wife looking at another man, if my husband was looking at another woman like this, and this is our wedding picture. But anyway, I digress. But that's how I wanted to talk about that. So they came on last night, and I was so disappointed. And she's talking about, and they're talking about, they're lumping all black colleges into one, and they're like, and then they're talking about it, but they're not giving like solutions. They're not saying what the problem is. They're not saying what the solution is. They're not saying if they have met with the kids. They're not giving any information about if the staff has met with the kids. They're not giving any useful information. They're really like gossiping like some hens. You know, they're not giving any useful information. I have not learned anything
He
from
just
this
wanted to come on and do
conversation.
a video. He just wanted to come on and do a video, child. And like I said, he ain't nothing but an old coon. That's all that he is. And he ought to be shaming himself. He just selling a
And then
bill of goods to black people.
so, so then they come on this morning, and I catch them live. And then so I'm writing in the chat like, I can't believe your wife said that she ain't never had nobody has ever treated her wrong being a black woman living in America, and the only person that treated her wrong is the faculty at Howard University. I find that hard to believe as a black woman living in America. And
He
then and then they read the comment, Ronnie Q, she wants to be cynical. No, no, I'm being factual. And then they said the comment like, oh, well, people are getting robbed, and then somebody else wrote, well, people at NYU get robbed. And then he comes back and say, oh, well, I think they said that people in the dorms are getting robbed. And then I write in the comments, oh, I think you want to say I think now, so you say I think, so it makes the story sound good, so you can't say that it's factual, so you'll say I think to make it sound more juicy, so you can't say it's a fact. Just putting 20 on 10, so you'll say I think they got robbed in the dorm, so you can't say it's factual, but it makes the story sound juicier that people are getting robbed in the dorms at black universities. What is your end game here to down historically black universities?
Well, I guess cause
Like, get out of here.
he's
And then
offended
he
by
started reading comments off of Instagram. He stopped reading comments out of YouTube. Then he started reading the comments off his Instagram page because it was only like 20 some people on the YouTube page. Then he would start reading comments off of Instagram. He stopped reading comments off of the YouTube page altogether. I was too done with this. I was
this.
like, ugh.
He's not even worried about none of any. He worried about because they canceled his engagement. I guess he's saying he don't give a damn
Yeah.
at the end of the freaking day. Like honestly,
Now,
So
yeah, so
that's all that's going on with that fool.
and he
Yep.
mentioned that again this morning. Yeah, they canceled my engagement. I was like, yeah. So I was just wondering if you were up on that whole
No, I didn't
incident
even hear
about what was going on with the black
about it.
college.
I didn't even hear about that. But what do you think? Why I got you on here? Y'all, please hit the like button if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank y'all, and thank y'all for coming in to sit in on this conversation. But something else, while I got you up here, what do you think about the gang over there in Haiti? What is the name of it? 400. I can't think of the name of the gang, but them they kidnapped those missionaries. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I did not. I've only heard like snippets of it because I've been really busy on a project, and I've only heard like the headlines on it on the
Mhm,
news. I haven't heard in depth stories of it on the news,
mhm,
but my thing is, okay, these are Christian missionaries going over to a war torn area. Haiti is in total chaos. Haiti has just killed their president and seriously injured their first lady who has been flown out to Florida to survive. So these are people who believe that God will fix it. Let God fix it. Okay, so why what is the UN gonna do for them? Okay, so they chose to go over there and be missionaries for Christ and all this type of stuff. So, okay, let God fix it. Why the UN got to be going over there? Haitians don't even want to be over there. So what they doing over there?
But
What
that's
what
that.
what they doing over there?
My issue is, in my opinion, the reason why all this is going on with the missionaries being kidnapped and all of this and all that and the ransom being given, this is retaliation for the way that the Haitian migrants were treated over here, and they
Eh,
hurry up and bundled them up and shipped them back. This is in retaliation for the way that those people were treated. In my opinion, that's what's going on, and that's what
what they
I
doing
that's
over there? They shouldn't
huh.
be over there. They shouldn't even be over there. That's
Yeah,
you want to go over there? Why we spending our resources on them? Fuck them.
well, that's a problem.
That's what I say. You
L'Oreal,
want to be over there?
hold on, Ronnie.
You take it as it comes. Let God. You a missionary for God. God let God handle it.
Well,
Okay. You
L'Oreal, is
believe
this
in
you?
God. God let do Jesus. Let Jesus fix it. Amen.
L'Oreal, is this you?
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I just wanted to comment on the Haiti story you just brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I have a serious issue with these mostly Caucasian Christians going over there trying to help because a lot of times, believe it or not, when they go over there, they snatch children, they snatch the
Mm-hmm.
black children, they
Yep.
bring them back over here to the United States and make them maids and clean up their homes and everything. They adopt them so that they can do that legally under the guise of this is my child. They don't send them to school. And a few years back, I don't know if you remember, a few of them were arrested for child sex trafficking, bringing them back and putting them into not only servitude, but we're sex trafficking them. So, really, when I hear stories like this, I think it's a shame if they really were true Christians going over there to help. But I'm very skeptical now because of the stories that I've heard and read about
Mm-hmm.
the things I just mentioned. And, what's that TV show called where it goes dun dun? Um, Special Victims Unit.
Mhm.
Anyway, you know how they always put in the beginning, these stories are, these are based off of stories that are true. That's what
Right.
they paraphrase. These stories are based off of true. We're not, naming names or doing anything. It's just twisted enough, a little bit tweaked enough that it's not really the real story. And they
Mhm.
did like 2 or 3 episodes on this type of thing where Christians went over there, adopted the children. Actually, some of them stole the children from their mothers, telling them they were going to bring them over here, educate them, and send them back home. And they ended up being in servitude or sex
Mhm.
trafficked.
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
just my opinion on it. When I
Absolutely.
hear
And
these
I remember a
stories,
couple of years ago when this young guy, this young Anglo guy, he was like maybe in his 20s, early 20s, I believe. He got arrested over there for raping,
yes,
raping several of the children over there, and he was a Christian missionary, you know.
yes,
And but
yes,
like I said, I believe that this is a indirect response to how the migrants were treated when they came over
yes,
here. Like those
yes,
people don't have any means of communication. They came back and told the hard stories of what happened, and this is in
yes.
retaliation. Um, in my opinion, that is why this is going on. With the missionaries. And it doesn't matter the color.
It
Somebody
very well
said,
could be.
I don't know what color that the missionaries are. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that they're Americans, and that's why they have done them like that because they're
Hmm.
retaliating in the way that they feel they should retaliate because of how their people were treated over here. Because have you ever seen? I have never seen any other a group of migrants or immigrants be rounded up and treated so badly as the Haitians were. I mean, they said, why these people coming over here? Are y'all sending any aid to these people? Do you first the president was killed, and a little bit after that there was this horrible earthquake. So the whole, of course, the gangs are going to be taking over at this point. Now they're not getting any, very little, anything. If they're getting anything at all, it's very little when it comes to the
No
UN,
humanitarian
USAID,
aid.
and yeah, no humanitarian aid at all. And so these people are dying, not from violence, from hunger, from having to live out, in the elements and stuff like that. But you want to round these people up like they cattle and ship them over there in warp speed time. You know what I mean? Then you always talking about border security and all of this here and all of that there, but I don't see you doing that to like the Mexicans is trying to cross the border, or the Guatemalans, but the Haitians come over here in droves, and you hurry up and round them up, put them on the plane in record time, and send them back to Haiti when you know you're not even doing nothing to help them people. Okay,
Right,
when they went
right,
through all of
right.
this, very little
And
humanitarian
you
aid, and then you want to cry
and you
about these people being kidnapped. It's a knee jerk reaction. It's in response to the way that these people, the way that the migrants were treated.
and you
Then they
know
want to
that
try
you
to act like
sending
they don't
them
know what's
to
going on.
and you know you sending them to a failed nation. And
Yeah,
you know that the United States is culpable in making that nation a failed nation over decades of interfering
yeah,
with Haiti,
Exactly.
yeah,
making it a
E-
failed nation.
yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely, playing a part in
Exactly.
it. And we know that
Exactly.
if you was watching the news, the president was killed because of a plot that some Americans helped set up against that president.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
even going back decades before that, even going back to the dominating the sugar cane and all that shit, America had
Yeah.
a hand in making Haiti a failed nation.
I mean,
Wasn't that the country
they never, granted, like the UN. Let's take the UN. They've never um cared about the well-being of Haitians, and that is in part because of the fact that Haiti, beat France. All those
Mhm.
centuries ago in the war. When
Mhm.
people
Yeah.
talking about Haiti, was able to
Correct.
overthrow France.
Yes.
because of
Yes.
voodoo, in part because of voodoo and all of this and all of
Yes.
that. You think they're gonna ever forget about something like that? No, they're not. And so that's the part,
No,
the
and
reason why the United States felt justified
mm,
in sending those people back in record time and doing them like they did them. You know, you whipping
yeah.
them with horse whips and all of this and all
Yes.
of that, and it's on camera and nothing's being done about it. You know, you sending
I
these children and these women back
mhm.
to a country that they don't even
Olivia,
they're living under rubble and
Well,
stuff. Nobody's trying to help these
Olivia,
people.
I think
Olivia,
I,
Olivia, do
I
not
think
come
that a
on
lot
here
of it dates
lying.
back to
Uh,
Uh-huh. What you say?
Olivia, don't come on here lying. Now you know they said are investigating that man who beat that man with a whip.
They ain't investigating a motherfucking thing.
they
What'd you
ain't
say?
doing nothing. I was gonna say a lot of it dates back to their leader called Baby Doc. Do you guys remember him? He
Yes.
was a dictator over there, and he was set up by the U.S. government, and they gave him so much power and so much money. He became this ruthless dictator and was killing people and everything, and he just got out of control and ran amok. And so I think that at that point, the U.S. got so much flack for sitting him in power that they've kind of shied away from Haiti. I think that's one of the reasons is
Well,
Baby
hell, they
Doc.
said
And
they said
But before
the
baby
dog
doc, there
Hussein.
was
Wait a
Doc.
minute,
There
they
was
said
Doc before
the dog
baby doc, his
Hussein was
father.
down.
I'm sorry, what did
Before baby doc, there was his father, Doc.
Yeah, that's true too. They set them both up. They just poured money into them and thought that they would do whatever the U.S. wanted them, the CIA wanted them to do. And it just became a massive failure. And they killed, they were killing their own people and chopping them up and doing all kind of things. And I think now America got so much flack. This is one of the reasons that they hate to really truly stick their finger in there publicly and try to help. And I think that there's still the CIA has done so much all over the world. And then when they ruin everything, they want to hide their hands, and I just think that Haiti, I worry about its recovery this time. I don't know how they're going to recover. And it bothers me. It really bothers me because I don't see any way out for them because no one's
Yeah, they
But
don't
helping.
have any international any international aid to speak of. They don't have
Right.
any
but
resources to speak of or anything.
but we forget that Haiti would have had resources if they didn't have to pay back all that money that they had to pay back to was it France or England because of that uprising.
France.
The
France.
France, yeah, if they didn't have to pay back all that
Yeah.
money to France because of that slave uprising,
Right.
because
Right.
they refused to be slaves.
Well,
See, they
Right.
had to pay back France. They just got finished paying back France all that money.
that's why I was talking about even to this day, they're paying for that uprising, they're paying for that rebellion. That's why the United
Yeah.
States did them the way that they did the migrants that came over here fleeing destruction, really, because there's nothing left
Hmm.
standing in Haiti but piles and piles of stone. You know, their homes are destroyed and everything else. The reason why they felt secure in doing that to those people, because of the way that the world feels about Haiti, overthrowing France.
Right. Right.
They'll
And I
pay
just
for
want
it
to add
forever.
this,
That's why they don't have a
and then
problem
I'm
with
going.
giving them foreign aid. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say this, and I'm going back down in the chat. I didn't mean to be up here this long, but
Mhm.
whoever said that it doesn't matter what color the missionaries are, and that is very true. And I know there are a lot of black Christians that go over there and try to help, but
Mhm.
my story was specifically for the ones that go over there, the ones that have been caught have been white
Mhm.
French, American, English, whatever they are. I'm talking about those specifically that go over there and mistreat and use the women and the children. And
Mhm.
I just don't know what color these are that are there now. But I
Right.
also think that they said they did kidnap even children, right? That were like the
Yeah, they said it
children
was
of the
5 children
missionary.
kidnapped. They did.
Let's
I
They
say,
thought
said
it
it was
was, yeah,
five
three.
children.
I thought it was three, but yeah, a small amount of
Children.
children. Yeah.
5 children. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but that's all I had, Miss Olivia. It breaks my heart. And I think we all know the reason why they've wrapped up these Haitians and sent them back, even spent airfare money, gasoline and the jet fuel to send them back to Haiti.
Mhm.
It breaks my heart, but we can we can bring over all these other. I mean, people don't even know the Asians are
Afghanistan,
really,
all military.
yes.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't want to say it since they called me out on saying the white missionaries, but yeah, Afghanistan. But the thing about it though is
Ain't
too,
even vetted them.
people,
We've been fighting them for 20 years in a war, but we bring them back
right?
on our military planes. Ain't even vetted them, sitting them up in D.C. and San Francisco, the most expensive uh states and cities in the United States,
Where
sitting
we
them
can
up in
where
housing and all this shit.
where we can't even afford to
Well,
live.
we
San
can't even
Francisco
afford to
has the
live.
biggest homeless tent cities for miles. But
Yeah.
what I want to
You
say
don't
though
even know how
is,
many of those people that we brought over
um,
here. You don't know if they're terrorists or not.
Exactly.
You know, we can have
exactly.
another 9/11
But I just
running
wanted
here.
to say, well, right, the biggest minority population in America are Asians. And a lot of people don't realize that or know that because they stick to themselves. They have Chinatowns all over. Um, they don't, they just have a huge population that I think lays under the radar purposely because we
Mhm.
deal so much and we owe China so much money.
Yeah.
And they are not about to start rounding all those illegal Asians up and
Mm-mm.
send them home to make
Mm-mm.
China mad.
Those
And
anchor babies.
so, exactly. So, when they talk about all the Haitians that come over, all the Hispanics that come over, they won't dare talk about all the Asians that come
No.
over illegally and are in the
And
bottom of ships and stuff and, just
yes,
overrunning.
You
Yeah,
know,
and
yeah,
cargo containers
I
and
saw a
shipping
report.
containers and all that
yeah,
shit. Yes,
I saw
yeah.
talk about that.
I saw a
Talk
report.
about that.
I saw a report
But
a couple of weeks ago where they were talking about anchor babies. Do you know that there are hotels around this country, especially in the Los Angeles area? There are hotels set up. They come over here. The Asians, they'll come over here and they have a child. Uh, they come
mhm,
over specifically to these hotels to have children born on American soil, so that
yeah.
the children, they call them anchor babies, won't be able to be sent back. Well, they all going. They want to have dual citizenship. They have the babies here on American soil, then they go back home, and they have dual citizenship. And so, but there are hotels set up for the agents to do that.
I believe it because
Nobody ever talks about that.
the U.S. government is not going to mess with that because if they start messing with that, China's going to get upset and it's going to
Exactly.
be a whole big deal. So, anyway,
Exactly.
thank you for letting me come up on
Thanks for
your
coming in.
panel. It's always an honor to speak to you, Mrs.
Thank you.
O. You know I adore you. And Ronnie Q, you know you're my girl. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
You
good
my
night.
girl too. And the thing is, they always have a way in because they always have a foot in the door because they always have a set up job, housing and stuff because they always work together. They always
Right.
have a job. You go in any restaurant, nail shop, they always have a business to
Right.
set up in where they can come in, they can work, they can have a place to stay, and all that type of stuff is already set up. You going into any nail shop, any eatery, any type of a Chinese business, because they always do business because they always hire each
Well, it
other.
probably
They
not
don't
for black
hire
people.
us.
They
They
have made millionaires out of these Asians. Black people have
correct,
because they
correct.
come to your community, and we don't not buy from them. We still just
Hmm.
suck it up. The nail shops and stuff. We keep supporting them when they don't even like you. We've
Keep
seen the videos about how they treat
we
black
seen
women in
them,
the nail salons and
and
stuff like that. But you still
and the
keep
black
doing that,
women won't get up and leave the salon. They'll sit there
right?
and watch a Asian man beat a
Right?
black woman, and they will sit there and continue to get their nails. There ain't no
Right?
way in hell I would
Yep.
sit there and see the stuff that goes on in this nail shop and
Yep.
continue to get my nails, or go back to a nail shop where I
Yep.
see that type of activity go on. But you see them women sit there and look like they
Yep.
a spectator at a at a sports event and
Yep.
continue to get their nails done. It
Yep.
is just
Appreciate
we are our ooh, some of us are our
it.
own worst enemies.
I agree. Tamara said, "Ladies, and Anchor Baby will not keep you here. They will send them. Yes, they will send the mother back. Absolutely, but they're not even worried about staying here. Is what I was saying, Tamara. They have the babies and go back. To China or wherever. They just want their children to have dual citizenship. That's why they do that. They're not trying to stay here. They're trying to have their baby and go back so that the child can have dual citizenship. That's why they're doing that. Uh-huh. So yeah.
Well, Miss Olivia, it's been nice. I just came to chit chat with you for a little bit.
Well, I appreciate you popping on today. Let me see this Lady Tia.
You don't
Hold on one
leave.
second. Is this you, Lady Tia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey,
You wish
we like to piggyback. We like to piggyback off of each other. And I remember, like a couple of years ago, I think it was something in the instance of the guy, the Asian guy, had put his hands
She
on a
must be
black.
on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't hear me. You can't hear me.
you can't hear Ronnie?
Can you hear me, Ronnie Q?
I hear you. Hey, Lady T, I'm gonna hop off. I'll be listening to you in the chat.
Oh
Okay,
no,
thank you, Ronnie
I
Tia.
was just gonna piggyback what you were just saying about the Asian stores and how our people continue to go in them. It was a guy. Now we have a hard time putting getting these men to stand in place in protection of us. And this one Asian store, I don't know if it was in Tennessee or Texas or Atlanta. It was in one of those places, and the Asian guy had put his hands on the black woman. So the black guy, him and a couple of friends of his went outside of this store with their picket signs protesting that nobody come and shop at this place because they're putting their hands on black people. You know what them Asian people did? They put a 50% sale out there.
Yep.
50% on everything in the store, and the line was round the corner.
And it was
And
a
the black
line
men,
around the corner.
I
yes,
remember
Mm-hmm.
that.
the black men were out there like, how can I help y'all if y'all not standing with me?
I remember
It
that.
was so crazy that they still, just because it was some sale, they just overlooked the fact what this man was standing for. He was not only standing for black women, but he was standing for the fact that this place needed to be shut down because y'all shouldn't be getting treated this way. But that line, it was so cringing to watch him stand out there protesting for the black women, and the line was wrapped around the corner. They just excused what
Mhm.
he was doing. It was so sad to see that.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a couple of years ago, right?
Hmm.
I remember seeing a video of it, I believe. Uh-huh.
It's a lot of black women out here
Mhm.
doing nails now. I mean, come on, we have to do
Yeah.
better than this because these people don't really want us in their stores.
Right. They don't
And
they
and
don't
and
even
and,
like
and the
you.
thing and the thing about it is, if you would sit and understand, you sit in a chair every week and you watch a person do your nails every week, and you mean to tell me you haven't learn the skills to take care of your own body in
Mm.
all of this
Not even
time.
that.
See, you
You know
know,
what? I
it's
stopped going.
something about,
Yeah, I stopped
it's
going to the
something
nail
about,
salon years
oh,
ago. Let me tell you this. I stopped going. The reason why I stopped going to the nail salon years ago is because I don't like if you're over here in America and you're especially in my community and you have to speak in a language in which I can't understand, it make me think that you talking about me and you taking my money. Do you see what I'm saying? So why am I
mhm,
going to keep going to your nail salon and you break out in your I don't speak Mandarin. I think it's rude when they you go in these foreign stores and they're not speaking English the way you can understand because I don't know what you're calling me. You can be calling
Well,
me anything you want to call me.
well,
And you
Miss. Oh,
still
you know what? I have my ex boyfriend. He spoke Arab. I mean, he speak Arabic. And of course, they didn't know. We were in a store one day, and they didn't. We was in Arabic store, and they didn't know, of course, because he's a black man. He don't know what we talking about. And they were talking about somebody in the line, and he spoke to them back in Arabic, and they never said anything else. So they do. They talk about us in their own language, and they expect us not to know. But it
yeah,
surprised the hell out of them that he knew what they were saying.
yeah,
but
yeah.
here, but
You're right about that.
here's the bigger picture that concerns me. We as women and men and human beings, we should know how to take care of our own bodies. We should know how to clean our nails. We should know how to push back our cuticles. We should know how to trim our nails. We should know how to take care of our bodies. They're
I
not
agree.
splitting atoms. We should know how to take care of our bodies. And we are sitting in a chair week after week watching people push back our cuticles. Okay, putting on a full set of nails. Okay, that's a art. But doing a fucking pedicure, we should know how to do
Right.
that. That's I mean, we should
I
know how to take
well,
care of our
a
bodies.
lot of it. Well, sometimes it's not even about knowing how to take care of your body because we all should know how to do that. But sometimes it's nothing wrong with wanting to be pampered. And I would never down somebody for wanting to be pampered. You get your
Eh,
mani, you get your pedi, you get your massages, and
But
whatnot. But I get you. But let me
no,
finish.
no, no,
Let me
Miss
finish.
Olivia.
Let me
Okay,
finish. I
yeah,
just want
okay,
to say. All I want to say
okay.
was, you don't have to. There are a lot of black owned salons and stuff. You will pass by the black owned salon and go to the Asian salon or the Anglo salon. What about all of these? There's a lot of just like you wouldn't get your hair done by somebody other than if you're a black woman, you want another black woman to do your hair, right? So why then bypass that black owned salon to get your nails done, get your mani pedi
right.
done? Why not contribute to these black owned businesses? You know what they talking about. You know how they you know how they moving. Why go past your own to support somebody that don't even like you? And like I said, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with being pampered. Before the pandemic, I love to go get me a good mani pedi. You know what I mean? And get me a good little massage. We don't have a lot of people in my community, but it's one little girl. She went to school, for doing what she's doing. She graduated. She was on Facebook. We knew when she opened her shop. People was always already making appointments for her. Before her shop. Oh, they took forever to inspect her store. You know what I mean? And but hers. Let me read this. And a lot of black people support her down here. And another thing I noticed, that when it comes to the black, so you got a black hair care store. Do you know that the Asians will close out black owned businesses? They'll make it so hard for you to buy supplies, like the hair and whatever it is you need to, get your black hair care needs store up and running. They will close you out or they will price you out so that their own people can keep doing business in your very own community. But they will freeze your black self out. They'll make it so hard and raise the prices so high that you can't even afford. It's hard for you to find the products that you need, to run your
I,
black owned business. Let me read this
y-
though real fast. Miss Oh, sorry, the black ones are not on par. We need to step up our game and customer service. Some of them are though. You can't put
I
every
disagree.
black-owned salon under
I
one blanket
disagree.
because, like I said, we got a little girl down here. She does a very good job. Her little staff. They got their little certificates on the wall. They got a real nice shop. And they got people, they got customers that appreciate them. Now you do still have them people that's still going to the Asians and all this and all that. But she got a nice little clientele. And the only reason why
And I've seen
I started going to her in the first place is because I know the little girl. I knew her when she was in school with my nieces and stuff. She make a very good living doing even through the pandemic. And when they start opening
and
up the salons and stuff again, she right back. She do hair, she do nails, she do the men. She got a couple of barbers in her. I mean, she do it all in her little shop, and people support her. And I just wish many more of us would give a person a chance.
Well, you
and
know
I've
what, Miss
seen
O,
I've seen I've seen some
I'm
real nice black owned pedicure shop that are, real boutique style, real nice
Yeah.
style pedicure shops. But what I was saying that we need to learn to do our own in times where we need to boycott these mass Asian shops where we like, oh well, we got to get our nails done. We got to, in
Well, since the
times where
pandemic, I've been
we
doing my
need to
own mani
boycott.
pedi. Since the pandemic,
That's
I
what
don't
I
have a
meant.
choice.
and I agree with you,
Exactly.
right?
That's what I was saying.
I
That's
well,
what I
I
was
what I
saying,
want
Miss Olivia.
And what I want to add to that, being that I have been in the business field of before I even became a business owner, but I know a lot of business owners, and I mean, I know y'all wouldn't be surprised when I say this, but they changed that price on those storefronts for black businesses. Some
Yeah,
people are paying $1,000 a month for their storefront in a plaza, and some paying 1,500 a month. That's how they end up getting you out of those storefronts
yep,
because they raise those
yep,
prices on
yep,
you. They'll raise it. They'll start you out at 1,100, and the
yep,
next year they don't went up to 1,600, and that
yep,
is a lot putting on people that are starting out business and starting
yep,
in a storefront. These
yep,
storefront owners are raising the prices on black businesses, and some people don't even realize that they are not paying the same as that next
yep,
business next to them.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then
You're absolutely
that's
right.
why a lot of black businesses are doing those what do you call it? Where they just have
Pop up shop, pop up shops. We do
the
them all the
little
time.
office, like the little boutique thing where it's like they
Hmm.
little office where they can do like the where they have like the hair, like the little, what is it called, where they have the little, it's like a little office where everybody have, they can do the hair and the pedicure and everything in one little thing. uh
Hmm.
I forgot what it's called, but
Well, it could be
it's not
different
the
in different
whole
places.
shop. It's not like the whole shop or whatever, but it's like an office inside of the thing, and everybody, a suite.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why
they
a
can do
lot
a
of people
suite.
are doing a suite thing where they don't have
Well,
to rent out the whole shop or whatever. They have suites,
Mm-hmm.
so it's
right. Or
a
we
lot
do
less
pop up shops
expensive.
here. We do pop-up shops here in Florida. So we have our date and we have all the vendors come out and we have us a day of a pop-up shop and we get people to come out and support our businesses. You have people that rent out like storage units that come with AC and they do their business out of those places as well. It's just a shame that we have to go to those measures. But if you want a storefront, it's gonna cost you. It's
Yeah,
really going to cost you. You're going to have
yeah,
to go in that storefront already having a big clientele to just
yeah.
be able to keep up with the um, complexes rent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even if you run across a storefront, the owner is black, they'll still overcharge
Hmm.
you. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, I got stung by a couple of bad people. It is
Yeah,
what it is.
you know, and it's just crazy. People just
And
it's
you
really
don't want to just
crazy.
be working to pay no rent.
Right,
Right. Right. You're right.
right.
And it takes at least a couple of years, to
Even
turn a
see
profit from
profit.
a business.
Yes,
A lot of people don't even have that couple of years. You got
right.
to build the clientele, and all this and all that. It's a process. But
It's definitely
a
a
lot of
process.
businesses get tanked before they even get started because of that.
Right,
Because the
right.
overhead cost is so high.
Yeah,
Rent
my boyfriend
and
wanted me to jump out there so fast, and I knew it wasn't. I didn't want my heart broken, and I still jumped out there and got my heart broken a few times,
yeah,
but it never stopped me. So that's where the passion and what you thriving for comes behind that. Because if you ain't got no passion for it, you're gonna give up. You're gonna give
yeah,
up,
don't give
and you're
up.
gonna let those little bumps in the road stop you. But
Yeah,
don't let it stop you.
yeah,
You'll find a different way. There's always
absolutely.
a different
But I
road
tell
that you
you
can
one
go
good
on.
thing
Stay
about
on
the
that
internet,
passion.
though. That's right, Lady T. But one thing about the internet, though, you can sell your products online.
Yes,
Okay, even if
indeed.
you have to
I
go to
know that's right.
That's just you don't have to have a brick and mortar store for certain things. Of course, your hair salons and stuff. It is what it is, but like you said, you do your t-shirts and designs and stuff like that, and a lot of
And
crafters and stuff. One good thing about the internet, one good thing about it is that you can have a very lucrative business from selling your products online.
right,
Like
right.
a
Mm-hmm.
lot of black skincare companies have started online, have very
Right.
profitable stores online. You say you selling through which is too high Etsy or Shopify or something. You can save that money up and get your own website. But you
Yeah, well,
start
that's what it.
selling Etsy
Websites
and
are
they
not
will design
expensive.
you.
People think
uh,
that they are, but they're not. They're
Right,
not really that
right.
expensive. But
But you get your name
I
out
have a
there.
lot of work to do with my website because I gotta be very technical about sizes and custom. So I have to. I'm still working on my website because I still ain't got it how I want. But it's not. I still pay monthly, but I'm not paying a whole bunch of money for it.
Right.
So it's not. People just know it's not as hard as people may think it is. It's really not that hard, but you will have to put money into it before
Yes,
you see
absolutely.
anything. And I'm talking about thousands of dollars before you see anything. But if you're passionate about it, don't let that bother you because at the end of the day, you will get your reward. They say what you reap, what you sow, you will reap. So if you
Yeah,
reaping that seed, you will definitely see the fruits of it eventually.
yeah.
Just don't give up on it. And on that note, Miss O, I'm fit to go. I gotta take my daughter to dinner.
Okay.
All
Right.
right,
All
ladies,
right.
guys,
See
y'all
you
have a
guys
great day.
later. I'm
Thank
back
you.
in the chat.
All right,
Okay. Thank
later.
y'all. Thank y'all for coming up. Okay. I appreciate y'all.
All right, anytime.
All right. Thank both of y'all for coming up. But yeah, y'all, I don't know how we go from one subject to the next. You know how y'all please hit the like button if you haven't. Jessica says, Olivia, I follow a YouTuber named Naturally Philo, I believe. And she made it to Shark Tank and her product sold. Look up Ken Hoodie. I'm gonna have to do that. I saw was looking, I look at I'm multitasking when the TV's on. Um and I saw one little black girl on there. She had a business. I think she said she started her business on social media, and they one of the sharks picked up her product. I think it was last week. Is that what you're talking about, Jessica? Because I saw that. Of course, I was doing other stuff, but the TV was on, and I saw that she one of the sharks, one or two of them picked up her product. Hey, Cloud, how you doing, love? Yeah, they picked up her product. I don't know if we're talking about the same person, but yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's just a lot of it's real hard when you're black and you're trying to start your own business. Especially when it comes to black beauty, because we know that's $1 billion business. And the Asians dominate black beauty. It's crazy. They don't even like black people, but they dominate when it comes to the hair, and the nails, and stuff like that. They dominate, and part of the reason why they dominate is because they make it so hard on black people to get the products that they need. And then you come down to a brick and mortar store. It's hard for you to pay rents on these brick and mortar stores. It's just hard. But like Lady Tia was saying, if you really want that, if that's your dream, just stick to it. Don't give up, because that's what they want you to do. And so, does the black shark food give a lot of minorities a chance? I don't want. No, no, he really doesn't. Not to my now. I don't watch him on a consistent basis, but no, he really doesn't. And so yeah, he really doesn't. Y'all, please hit the like button. But yeah, like I said, yeah, I don't know how I got from A to wherever we are now, but it was just a couple of things that I want to talk about. I think that's it. I don't know. And like I said, I got questions. I had questions at the top of the video. Um, we were talking about the Jay Wilson situation or whatever. I'm just confused. I hope the best for him. I just don't think it's a good idea to overshare, and that's just my opinion. I'm just one person. This is my commentary, and this is just my opinion. And so, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. Via the history that he has here on YouTube, I don't think it's a good idea. But like I said, to each his own. But y'all, I guess I'm gonna get off here. Thank you guys so much for thank you to all you that came up and participated in the conversation. Thanks guys. Thank all of you for being interactive in the chat and hanging in there with me when I decided to go live. It'd be a lot going on. And sometimes it's absolutely draining when I come live. I come live because of y'all. Those of y'all that support my channel and that like what it is that my channel gives. This is why the only reason why I'm still clicking the live button. Thank you, Jessica, when I click it. And so, Tamara said, so great to hang with you in your chat. Thank you, Tamara. Thanks for joining us. And that's the only reason why I'm still clicking the live button because it's absolutely draining to me at times. There's not even a lot that I want to talk about when it comes to the B sector anymore. That's why we always end up talking about something else. Because it's just, oh Lord, it's draining to me. All right, all the negativity, uh, you know, and after a while, I just don't be feeling it. Okay, I don't be child. But anyway, those are other stories for other days, and so I'm gonna get off of here. All right, but y'all please hit the like button if you were on your way out the door. You get it, Miss O. Oh, thank you, Corio. Sometimes I just be like, child, whatever. Miss Alfreda said, young people don't give up. Yeah, on your dreams, right? And follow your passion. Use your gifts that the creator instilled in you. I know that's right, Miss Alfreda. I know that's right. You tired, Lady Tia? I get tired of the same old, same old. There's a lot of one trick ponies around here, child, and I ain't got it to do. Like honestly, I get bored real quick. We all know this about me, but it is what it is. But on my way out the door, hey Miss Olivia Day, I missed the show. Well, please red ball it back, Tiffany. I appreciate it, Tiffany. I really would. Hope we get on the entertainment video soon. It's a couple of things I wouldn't mind talking about when it comes to entertainment. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to do that because I'm seeing a couple of things going. One thing that I saw that I found interesting. I seen before I get out of here, Jessica. I seen yeah, I was wanting to talk about the book of Enoch Corio, but I didn't get a lot of I didn't get a lot of interest from it, so I just dropped the idea. I wanted to talk about it a couple of times, but like I said, I didn't get a lot of interest in it. And so I just left it alone. But one thing, we have been talking about we have been talking a lot of people that were talking about Kelly Price. We know that whole thing that was going on here for a long time. And Kelly did a video recently and said that she was just trying to lay low and chill or whatever, right? And the first thing came into my mind, y'all know that Kelly Price song. She did it years ago, and she was tired. She was tired of tired of everything, tired of the lies, tired of the church, tired. She was just tired. Okay, so when I was listening to her when she was talking about her trying to recover and her not contact, she said she was in contact with some people. She had been in contact with a lot of people. But my thing is, I guess she didn't want to be in contact with people that was gonna stress her out, right? So this song was tired. I can't even think of the words right now, but don't y'all know what I'm talking about? She did that. That's the song I thought about. Child, she said she tired. She tired out of the game. She tired out of life. She tired of. She even tired of going to church. I said, child. That's what I thought about. Yep, that was when she was Big Kelly. Love that song. Yeah, Jessica, you know what I'm talking about. I was like, child. She was in contact with friends, but not certain family. And that's understandable because I'm sure they get on her nerves. Okay? Be running that child in the ground. Right? She said she tired. She tired. She just want to recover. She tired. Leave me alone. I'm tired. Child had the fans knocking at her door to see if she was okay. She was fine. She was trying to get well. I really would like to hear your take on the Illuminati. Child, we done talked about the Illuminati so much. Well, I'm sure you've spoken on it before, but I went down a rabbit hole. And it's so interesting. Tiffany, it's so many twists and turns when you go down that rabbit hole, child. Illuminati is the least of it, okay? Them the good guys compared to some of these secret societies. All right, truth be told, and some of that stuff, child, I done researched some stuff that's so scary that I refuse to come online and talk about it. And scared that they gonna come knocking at my door and disappear my whole damn family. That's how deep it get. But I know what you mean, though. Can you speak to the story about out of Houston where the black woman used? No, I didn't hear nothing about that, Bowen. What's going on with that? I didn't hear about it. And the white family want her charged for killing herself. Wow, really? What's the name of the woman so I can look it up? Because I didn't really think about it. If you'll tell me the name real fast, I go look it up. I know they're doing jury selection for the Ahmaud Arbery trial, and they've called in a couple of hundred. They say potential jurors and stuff, and I don't see that going very well. You know, a lot of secret societies get too deep. I know that's right, Jessica. It was a road rage incident. Let me get it. Okay, Baldwin. But while Baldwin is getting that name for me, y'all, yeah, they're interviewing potential jurors for the Ahmaud Arbery trial, and they said they've called a couple of hundred of them to be interviewed for the trial, and because I don't see that now I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see this uh as a good sign. Yes, this trial is going to be it's going to be a mess. I agree, Tamara. I don't see that as a good sign at all. Me personally, I really don't. But time will tell. But I'm like, yeah, they got some. It's a chink in the armor already for me. Honestly, that's the way I feel about it. So yeah, but time will tell. Justice may be served. We don't know. I heard they are trying to use citizens arrest with my Arbery track that chap, but the video, that's the thing that tripped me out. Chap, you can have a video of the incident, and they'll still say you didn't see what you saw. Ain't that something, child? I know, but it's something to hear about. True about how a lot of these celebs are involved. It will not work with the family's favor. Yeah, I don't think that's the way I feel, Jessica. That's the way I feel. I don't have a good feeling about it. Quite frankly, they interviewed the mother and she was hopeful, but she said she was hopeful. She did. I saw that. It was actually an old story. Never mind. Oh, it's from 2012. I saw it today on my feed. Oh, okay, Bowen. Yes, they said your eyes are lying to you. Yeah. They try to dispute what you saw with your own two eyes. You didn't see that, even though you saw what you saw, but you didn't see that. Here's what you really saw. You right about that, Tara. Child. Mm-mm. But it happened in 2012. But Crystal Scott is her name. Oh, okay, yeah. Because I did. Child, I can't even tell you what I was doing in 2012. Be quite honest with you. I couldn't even tell you. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off here. Thank you guys. Rodney King on repeat. I heard that, Tamara. She said, yeah, they said on the news. They don't know if the people in that town are versed enough when it comes absolute child, Tiffany, child. So we're gonna have to wait and see. This is gonna be a whole clown show. I got a feeling. Like I really do, But anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I have been on here almost 2 hours. Thank you guys. That's the reason why I stay on so long when I do a video is because I don't be on regularly. And I want to give all the people that enjoy my channel enough time. I don't want to pop on and pop off. Because I really appreciate you guys coming in when you do in the way that you do. I appreciate that. So if you guys will please hit that like button on the way out the door. I am going to get out of here. I hope that you guys have a nice rest of your day. I am so glad we are coming into fall season, what I call sweater weather. This is one of my favorite times of year. I came on talking about wanting to put me on some crock pot chili. Child, you put on your crock pot chili. Shoot, when your crock pot chili, it cook all day and stuff, right? You get that that what do you call it? That bean juice all thick and stuff. Then run over there and get you some grilled cheese sandwiches. Honey, that is the weather that we are coming into, child, and I am here for it. All right, I'm gonna get my crock pot meals together. This is the time of year, child, and I hope y'all doing the same. But anyway, I told you I got hungry thinking about that. I'm gonna have to put me some on. I'm like, I am gonna put me some on tonight. I ain't gonna. Yeah, I love fall and winter. Me too, Chlorio, cause it be so hot. Y'all know I live down south. It be a lot going on down here with the heat, But I love sweater weather. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please hit that like button on your way out the door. Please consider if you haven't hitting that subscribe button. Maybe even hit that membership button and that share button. Okay, so y'all be safe out there. Wear your mask, wear your gloves, do whatever you got to do to stay safe. Cause the child, y'all know what's going on. I don't even have to say the words. We all know what's going on, right? So I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Be safe. Bye bye. Peace.